Hey guys, Doug with Pinetree Line, and I'm here in the backcountry. I'm about a stone's throw away from the Elbow, part of the Spanish River. And if you're aware of the Elbow, you're probably a paddler. And up here in northern Ontario, the Spanish River is a very popular river to paddle. I've paddled it before, had some fun doing that. But this video is more for people that are starting out in canoeing or new to canoeing. And I myself am probably like a novice in canoeing. I'm not an expert. I use a double blade paddle, which I've gotten a lot of flack for. Using a double paddle, I can just do a lot more with it. I thought today I would share with you some of my gear organization solutions for canoeing as I get ready for the upcoming canoeing season. And these are things that work best for me. They may not work as well for you, but I think it will help if you're getting out there and you're starting to do some canoeing, some canoe camping. What I like to do is like to start out my season with the obvious. You're gonna go over your equipment for your canoe specifically, but that's not what this is about today. This is more about how you're gonna bring gear out into the backcountry and enjoy your time out there. So there's a lot of factors. One of the biggest ones, of course, is how long you're gonna be out there, and if your paddling adventure has portages or portages. So that will determine what I bring, how much I bring, and how I store it. But generally speaking, most of the stuff I do is crown land camping and crown land canoeing. So limited number of portages, usually maybe only one or two, if any at all, sometimes just on a lake. Basically, this is what I normally bring. So my main pack is a slog bag. It's called, from MEC, Mountain Equipment Co-op. I've had this bag for 5 or 6 years now. Super durable. I've used this so many times, all times of year. I've used it for winter camping as well. The great thing about this is you can store a lot of equipment in here. This is a 115 liter bag, and with it, it's got a really cool strap system, good padding. The nice thing, it's a roll top and it buttons down, so if you release the roll top, all your stuff in there. And the nice thing about a roll top, and this bag specifically and others like it with one big compartment on the inside, as you store gear in there and then you roll it down, what's going to happen is it's going to have some air inside. So if you did lose this bag over the edge of your canoe, or if you did dump or what have you, this thing is going to float. And it's not considered to be completely waterproof. Most companies probably wouldn't want to say that, but it would take a while before water actually starts seeping in here, especially if you roll this thing. You're supposed to roll it like 3 or 4 times to create a good seal. I haven't had any water get in this at any time ever, so I'm not too worried about it. You've got some side handles, what have you. So I'm not here to promote this bag specifically. I'm just here to talk about a bag like this is probably going to be in your best interest. But again, you can do whatever you want. If you're going to an area where there's no portage, you're not carrying anything, you can pack differently. Clearly, it's a well-made product, so you want to consider a bag. This is a good one to consider. I usually take a secondary bag. This one happens to be a Woods. This bag is again a roll top, as you can see here. And the beauty of this bag, same kind of thing. It's waterproof, to a certain extent, but it will float, because there's some air in there. There's a little bit of air in there. But the reason I bring a secondary bag is I usually pack my sleeping bag, my inflatable pillow, and anything to do with sleeping is in this pack. Spare clothes in here as well. Woods bag, I'll just undo that now just to show you. So, my inflatable pillow, and I have a dry bag with clothes in it, spare clothes. So if I do dump, this is in a dry bag, this is a dry bag, so I suspect that this will stay dry, and then I'll have it to use if I do dump and get all wet and I do have to change. The third thing I'll pack is a food barrel. In this case, this is a 30 liter food barrel. It's food grade plastic. It's got a seal on the lid, and it's got this metal ring, which is very nice to have because it keeps your contents nice and dry. The nice thing about a barrel is it's hard shelled, so anything in here is well protected. Your food's not going to get crushed. Any other items, it's super lightweight. It's got handles on the side, it's easy to carry. You could conceivably put this into a pack or leave it as is. The 60-liter barrel, which is also very popular and which I've had before, you can get a pack for that as well. It's just bigger, longer trips. For myself personally, I usually do a lot of overnighters and maybe a 2-day trip, and not much more than that. I do work for a living, so it's not really in the cards to take long trips. So this works perfect. This is actually new to me this year, and if you look carefully, you can find these things for a very good price. I paid $30 for this. So people sell these kinds of barrels all the time, so that's very helpful. So this is what I use for food generally. Another option that I use that is kind of like, I don't know, maybe not a popular canoe choice, is I'll use this particular igloo cooler that I have, and I'll put a strap around it. And basically this isn't bear resistant, and neither would a cooler, but I do like the size of the stand-up kind of cooler. I'll roll in some footage here so you can see it. I'll use that as well. And the beauty of that cooler, and specifically on an overnight or somewhere where you're maybe not portaging, is you can keep drinks cool or cold. You can keep food cold longer too. It's another option. Don't be afraid to use it if that's what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no rules. You make your own rules. And so I do enjoy using a cooler. The other thing I could do too is I could use both of them if I wanted to, because you can also store gear in here if you had to. You can't. It's not just for food or what have you. So that's the food barrel. So in my bigger bag, when I'm packing, this is another bag. These aren't dry bags. These are Lasci Outdoors bags. And if you're familiar with my channel, I do promote these bags. They're water resistant. They're made out of ripstop nylon. They're super well made. They're handmade right here in Sudbury, Ontario by my buddy Mike Lasci from Lasci Outdoors. And this particular bag is what I call a modified moose. It has my tent in it. And the beauty of this bag is I'm able to stuff my tent in here when it's wet or what have you, and it doesn't affect any of my other gear. So that's what I do with that. In this pack, I'll keep all my fire starting stuff, and my first aid will be in red, easy to get to. Those are the two things that would be most important that you want to get to quickly. Would be to start a fire if you happen to dump and the weather's a little colder and you want to start a fire, and also first aid. You want to get in that quickly. So red is let you know you want to get in there fast. In this particular bag is my cooking pan. There's a cutting board in here too. I don't think it's necessary to see specifically this stuff because I'm telling you what's in it. This is another moose bag. This is the regular sized moose bag from Lasci Outdoors. And Mike also customizes labeling, so I was able to get the Pinetree Line logo. This is the old logo. This is the new logo. Check out my store in the description below. But it's great to have it on there. It's my cup, my plate and stuff. I have an enamel cup, enamel plate, fork, knife, my canteen, which I'll boil water in all the time. Again, this is another moose, just a different color, a red one. This is another moose as well. Obviously, I think I like the moose. This one's got some freeze-dried meals in it, and super light. This is freeze-dried, and what I often do, pretty much every trip, is I bring this with me, and there's 4 or 5 freeze-dried meals in here. Worst came to worst, a bear took our food barrel or cooler or whatever, and all you had left was this. I could boil water and feed myself for for a few days if I had to with these meals. Super lightweight. I don't mind carrying this. I don't mind having this with me. This is a beaver tail, another Lasci Outdoors bag, and in this one I have miscellaneous stuff. It's really getting into I have a headlight. Actually, I have fire starting stuff in here too. Various stuff that I might need while I'm camping. Because they're all small and small stuff, I'll put it into a bag like this, which is this one's called a beaver tail. Another Lasci Outdoors bag. This is a tamarack, and what's nice about this, all these have YKK zippers unless they're roll top like the moose. This one has my bear banger. you know, that kind of thing. So I can, the nice thing about this is if it's not in my pack, I usually carry this on my belt, the straps here. And if I get into an area where I see signs of bear, or I feel the presence of a bear, or smell them, something like that, I can fire one of these off, and hopefully he'll get out of the area quickly. Bear spray, and that's always close by as well. Again, strap to have on your belt. So you want to have bear protection, especially in this area. This is black bear country. So this is a portage bag, and this one has a orange colored liner. You can have a red colored liner as well. Again, water resistant. The nice thing about this is when you are portaging and you want to take, you have all kinds of small, maybe fishing tackle and different bits and bobs, you can throw it in here and, you know, sling it over yourself. When you're inside your canoe, you don't realize how many little things you have around that when you're going to take a portage, you're going to actually have to, you know, put into something, or it's an extra trip, right? So nice to have the portage bag. I haven't used this yet. I'm anxious to use this on my my first trip. So check that out. All these bags, all these Lasci outdoor bags, you can get 15% off. Go to lascioutdoors.com or lascioutdoors.ca, either one, same website, and use the coupon code Pinetree Line, and you will get 15% off your order. He makes all these bags. He custom makes bags. There's all kinds of different colors, what have you. Feel free to jump in there and buy something if you like, and if not, use whatever bags you have. Use garbage bags. Do whatever you want. It's your trip. You can do you. So another thing to mention too is that a lot of guys, you know, they want to limit their amount of trips portaging, because, you know, the canoe is one trip, some of the equipment is another trip. So that's something to be mindful of as well, depending what kind of trip you're going on. If you're going on something with many portages or few, like I said earlier, if I'm going on something with just one portage, I'm not so worried about how many bags I have, but I do try to limit to like 3, having the big slog bag, the other dry bag with my sleeping bag, and then having the food barrel. So I can carry all 3 of those in one trip, with the slog bag on my back, and then with 2 hands I can carry that in one trip, and then the canoe in another trip. So that's something to be mindful of too. With this portage bag, you can add some stuff in there as well. So you do have options out there. Just got to kind of think them through, and this is just me sharing what I do, and from a novice paddler to perhaps a beginner or another novice paddler. Do it your way. Don't be afraid to do things the way you want to do them. Be safe out there. Enjoy your trips. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.